honorable life knew that there was something missing, as do many of us, myself included. This man who seemingly had everything, who had accumulated enough to live a very comfortable life, recognized that he had built a barrier between himself and God. What he owned, what he controlled, what he would not share, had separated him from a full commitment to God through Jesus Christ. In today's environment of lost jobs, Wall Street excess, abundant possessions, and foreclosed homes, Jesus is telling us that through a bold commitment to the work and presence of God, we will be shown a spiritual dwelling that cannot be foreclosed, that cannot be taken away, that cannot be lost in the storm of life. There is not a single individual or family in this parish who has not been significantly impacted by the current economic crisis. The economic crisis, in turn, has affected our home lives, our lives at school, our jobs, our physical and our spiritual health. It has exposed our weaknesses and laid bare our excesses. Yet at the same time, it has highlighted our strengths, brought forth our compassion, and quite often it has allowed us all, every single one of us, to recognize the importance of a deep and abiding spiritual life. It has allowed us to recognize the difference the presence of God makes in our lives. God is calling each and every one of us into a deeper relationship with Jesus Christ. God is calling us to follow in the footsteps of Christ and to spread the gospel of the good news. God is calling us not only to be involved, but to be committed to the gospel. When we approach Christ, let us not walk away shocked and grieved. There is indeed a difference between involvement and commitment. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is welcome to this community of faith. We are grateful to one another for the involvement and care we express towards one another in our everyday lives. But God is calling all of us into a deeper relationship, one that calls for sacrifice, one that recognizes the opportunity for salvation, one that asks for commitment. We have started our parish stewardship program this week. Starting a stewardship campaign under these conditions is awkward at best. But in reality, the ministries of this parish may be more crucial now than ever. Just like at your home, the costs at this parish continue to grow. The bills just keep getting bigger. Expenses are stretched to the limit, and we are dipping into our savings just to pay the light bill. There are more ministries serving more people at this parish than at any other time in the past 10 years. Opportunities for all of us to deepen our spiritual lives abound in this parish congregation. Pastoral calls, Eucharistic visits, and pastoral assistance are more prevalent than ever. Prayer is the focus of all that we do at St. Mary Magdalene. Let me say that again. Prayer is the focus of all that we do here at this church. Prayer, not just that we are able to pay our bills, prayer for one another. Prayers that help us lead others to Christ. Prayers that lead us towards reconciliation with one another and with God. You know, new individuals and families fill these pews every month. And they come seeking a place to worship God and to hear the good news. Welcome them. The mission of the church, as I said, is reconciliation. The mission of this parish is to know Christ and to make him known. As you can have seen from last week, at this time, our youth group is over 50 members strong. Our ministry to children numbers over 100. These young people are hungry to hear the message of Christ's salvation and to find a place where they can be loved and nurtured in the presence of God. Our seniors are more active than ever in the lives of this parish. Everyone here is not asking that we simply involve ourselves in the lives that we have. They are truly seeking a commitment from each other and from every single one of us. A commitment towards a step forward without apprehension and to lead them to Christ. So as we prepare to approach the presence of Christ at this altar this morning, as we share this common cup, are we asking Christ merely to involve himself in our lives? Or are we seeking a commitment that will transform our lives? As Jesus this morning looks at us and loves us, are we going to walk away shocked and grieved or confident in our decision to follow?